Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, it's David here and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing this type of video again where I'm going to just talk over a subject for whatever how long, but I needed to talk about Persona 3 Reload again because it's been on my mind lately and there's just a lot of cool stuff that came out of Anime Expo, like a brand new trailer, obviously the new voice acting cast that did a panel where we could hear some of the lines and stuff, and it was amazing. So I just want to sit down and talk. I have my coffee in hand. Let's get ready. It's the weekend. Get your own coffee or whatever you like. Chill, sit down. We're gonna have fun today. Before we do, if you're new to the channel, you want to stay up to date on all things in terms of ATLUS news, SMT, Persona, Metaphor, Refantasy, and more, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell as well, as we're trying to get 20,000 subscribers this year in 2023. It's a big goal, but I think we can achieve that with you guys' help for sure. And a quick thumbs up if you like the video is always a big help. So since I mentioned it, let's just start with that. At Anime Expo last weekend, which I wish I could go, it's really far away from where I am, but I would like to meet like a lot of you guys, right? I've seen pictures, I've seen like other content creators, friends of the channel, photos of them at Anime Expo, obviously ATLUS staff and the panel and everything. I would like to see all of that, so I hope at some point I'll be able to make it happen. I think I will. But anyways, lots of cool information, brand new Persona 5 Tactica trailer. The more I look at the game, the more excited I am, to be honest. But today we're here to talk about Reload, and to me, the panel that they did at Anime Expo with the voice actors, I'll link to a video that I just rewatched before recording today's video, and it's just someone who clipped basically the voice actors from Persona 3 Reload. So you have the main character, you have Junpei, Mitsuru, Fuka, and Akihiko on stage, and they're all just delivering iconic lines from Persona 3. And we talked about this in the last episode of the Demon Appreciation podcast, but it kind of was a small controversy when ATLUS announced that they're recasting the whole panel for P3 Reload. And I think there's reasons for that, right? I think long-time fans of Persona 3 know that certain voice actors could not have been recasted for a lot of reasons that I don't necessarily want to get into, but I think it was probably a better idea for ATLUS to recast everyone than to change certain voice actors. So not a bad move. When they first revealed that, a lot of people were worried, and I was not, to be honest, because I said it in a video, I don't remember which one, probably the news report where I was talking about the new voice acting cast. I'm not worried because ATLUS dubs are always good. In the West, they're always good. They're always good. It's a Sega thing, right? Whenever you play a game, whether you play a smaller project, like a spin-off, for example, it's good. Or you play something new, like a Soul Hackers 2, and it's still good. So even in the Sega side of things, you have like a Yakuza 7, which came out with a dub, and very solid. Sakura Wars in 2019. So they're good. They really are with their dubs, and I was not too worried. In that panel that we saw from Anime Expo, one word that I can say is wow. Honestly, all the voice actors, I have my preferences obviously, but all the voice actors and the lines that they delivered, wow. And you can hear in the background like fans are extremely excited for those lines. And I'll put my personal favorite here, which is from Mitsuru. Wow, fantastic.
Oh, it's a long one.
You're not planning to do something unethical under my supervision, are you? I suppose you'll need to be executed.
So yeah, as you could hear, it's great. It really is, and I'm very excited for Persona 3 Reload in that aspect. Looking at the new trailer, first look that we got at Akihiko and other characters as well in that trailer, looks very crisp, right? Love the dub that they showcased very briefly, but still. And there's a lot of information that was given to us in that trailer. Again, new scenes at Tartarus, which is good. I mean, this remake is what fans have wanted, right? When you look at the trailer, you look at it and you're like, hey, I hope people can finally say it. It's what we've been asking for years. It's what fans have been asking for years. It looks like Persona 5 in terms of visual, and people have always been asking Persona 3 in the P5 engine. It's not in the P5 engine because that engine is a little crusty to work with from my understanding. It is an Unreal Engine 4 game, but it clearly looks like P5. You look at the map, you look at the models, you look at everything, it's P5, right? And that's not a bad thing, not at all, because P5 is probably the most beautiful Atlus game that they ever made. So that is a good, I think that's what everyone wanted from this remake. Tartarus changes, of course, we have to see more, but hey, from what we've seen, I think they're changing it visually a lot, actually, but they want to change it structurally in certain aspects as well. I'm assuming things here, but still, I'm thinking they want to change it in that regards as well. So we'll have to wait and see. I know whenever it's not confirmed, it's just they want to look at it, they want to change it, but what changes are there going to be, right? To me, just the fact that it's a remake and just so much work put into it makes it interesting, right? New voice acting cast is interesting, new music is very interesting, changes in terms of gameplay is great as well. I do want to say, I know there's some people are worried as well about the game for a lot of reasons, right? We talked about the lack of Switch version. The game's multi-platform, it's not coming out on Switch, and I've heard some people be worried about that. To be fair, I wouldn't say that I'm worried about that, because the game's still going to do fine, right? It's a game that people have been asking for years at this point, and outside of Japan, Persona is also popular, right? If it was only Japan, I would be worried as well, because in Japan, I don't think this game's going to perform as well as it could because of a lack of Switch version. Switch is doing great everywhere, don't get me wrong, but in Japan, from 8 to 10 out of 10 games in the best-selling chart every single month in terms of game sales in Japan, they're all Switch games. Most of them are. So when you have a game that is not coming out on Switch in Japan, it might rank in the first week or so, but then it's gonna drop. We're seeing it right now as of the time of recording this video with Final Fantasy 16. Very good game, highly acclaimed game, way bigger IP than Persona in Japan, and it's the worst selling Final Fantasy game in its first week ever since, I think it's up to, you have to go back to like Final Fantasy 9 or something to get better sales. It's been over a decade since a Final Fantasy game did so bad, in quotations here, in Japan during its first week. And to me, that can be attributed to a lack of Switch version, and obviously the game would not have been on Switch, right? They worked with Sony and everything, but still. And I think we can expect similar results from Persona 3 Reload. Now, once we saw the numbers for the West with FF16, sold great, sold fine, nothing to worry about at all. Fastest selling PlayStation 5 exclusive and everything, no need to worry. It's doing fine, and I honestly think Persona 3 Reload is going to be in the same camp. I'm still bummed out that it's not coming to Switch, but I don't think it's fair to be like worried about it. It's going to do fine. I've also heard people say, hey, it's the 4th release of Persona 3, right? Persona 3, Persona 3 FES, Persona 3 Portable. Well, technically, they re-released Persona 3 Portable, so that would be the 5th release of Persona 3. I think that's our definitive version of the game. I said it earlier. So even though, yes, they milked it, yes, they kind of like kicked us in the nuts, right, last January with a crusty port of Portable, even though they were going to reveal Reload a few months after. Shitty move. It's Atlus. They do those things, right? If you've been a fan for years, it's not the first time that they fuck us over. I don't want to be that guy, but let's be honest here. Whenever they do something good, I'm front row simping, right? Let's go. But when they do something bad, I'm not afraid to say it. So yes, they do these types of things. So basically, to sum it all up, I'm all in. I'm all in with Persona 3 Reload. I think this game's going to be fire. I'm very excited for it. Same thing for Persona 5 Tactica. There's reasons to be worried, kind of. But at the end of the day, I think the game's going to do very well. I think it's going to do fine. I can talk very quickly about Switch and Switch 2, right? I was kind of adamant saying after the Nintendo Direct that, hey, Persona 3 Reload was not announced for Switch. It's not coming out on Switch. The game's going to be early 2024. If they had to announce it, it would have been announced at this Nintendo Direct that we got in June. It was not, obviously. And I still think it's just not coming out on Switch. I've seen arguments of people saying, yes, I think it can still happen. September Direct, Tokyo Game Show. I don't believe that. I really don't. I certainly feel like it's possible for the game to be ported to whatever Nintendo has in store for us for their next system. So let's say, well, we know the Switch 2 is about to release, or at least it's about to be revealed. I'm thinking early 2024 it gets revealed, so March or something would make sense to me. People are even saying earlier than that. I don't necessarily believe it, but I'm down for it though, because if that happens, it means, hey, there's more chances for Persona 3 Reload to be there on Switch day one, but it's also possible it's a late port. At the end of the day, sometimes certain games needed the Switch boost in terms of sales more than others, and that was the case for Soul Hackers 2. And the game never came out on Switch. It's not too late, it can still happen, but as of now, the game was never ported on Switch, and that game needed a Switch version way more than Persona 3 Reload needs it. So it's all hard to speculate. ATLUS is a strange company. They do strange things, they take strange decisions, so it's very hard to predict them. And hey, I want to say it again, I feel the need to say it again, but I was wrong about P3 Reload and Switch. I did some research. I saw communications with retailers saying that yes, it's going to come out on Switch. We have received confirmation that it's coming out on Switch, and we're getting allocations for physical copy of the game, and those were big retailers, and it just never happened. So I'm very careful now, and I don't want to create expectations any longer. So I'm not, if I see this type of information, I'm not even going to put it out there, because I don't want to misinform people, especially for something like this where I know a ton of people wanted to play that game on Switch, right? And it's a bummer, because you gotta feel like ATLUS, it's crazy that they don't know that, right? Persona 5 was the most requested game to come out on Switch, and they did it like 6 years too late, but at least they did it, and it did well on there. Persona 3 Reload is basically the same game. It's not the same game, but it's very similar, and if you are someone who enjoys Persona 5, you're gonna enjoy Persona 3 Reload 1000%. So it's just strange to see. I just don't think they wanted to put the effort in. But hey, that is enough for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. That's all the information I wanted to discuss. Enough rambling for today. You have a great weekend, y'all. Enjoy yourselves, take care, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.